Coach, appreciate your time today. You guys are going through some stuff, flooding in the area. It's been hard for the whole Ohio Valley area, hasn't it been?
Yes, it has. And so that's why I just count your blessings. Fortunate that, everybody surrounding our program's okay. And everybody, obviously send our best wishes and prayers to anybody and everyone that's going through some things. But a lot of flooding and a lot of rain, obviously on campus. We had a lightning situation where lightning struck on campus to cause power outage. And so, but everybody's really rallied around each other, and that's what basketball is just a game. There's a lot of other more important important things out there, but obviously that's the focus of today.
Basketball coaches are on a big scale, I think. There's the real control freaks, and then there's the guys that are less controlling. When things are disrupted like this, it can really affect the players, their routines, and all of that. How do you fight against that, or how do you mitigate those problems?
Well, just try to keep them in the loop as much as you can, so they're not in the dark on what we're doing. So you not leave them second guessing for as long as possible, and then as much as you can, you just stick to your routine. We're all routine guys. I mean, I have my routine when I leave off this Zoom of exactly what I'm going to do leading up to the game. So I just think you stay in your routine as much as possible. Um, and then you have to just deal with, extenuating circumstances. That's part of becoming an adult. That's part of life, and we're all going to go through different situations. And everybody talks all the time. You always hear people speak of, adversity reveals character. And like I said, our administration, Nico, has done a great job, being proactive with everything. And I think our team's done a great job handling it. And Ben was tremendous to work with as well.
You're talking about Ben Jacobson. You guys had a short turnaround, had to move a game. Now you have a short turnaround for Southern Illinois. Your guys obviously, you already played them, you know them well. Talk a little bit about the Salukis.
Well, we had a great win over there when they were playing extremely well, and they've had a great run.
Hmm.
I think off the top of my head, they've probably won 7-9, seven maybe they're 0-5. I think to start the league now they're 7-9. So excuse me, 7-4. In their last 11, really good guard play. Guys like Kennard Davis can make shots. Guys that can really get down. You got guys that can really get downhill. Hensley. I don't want to mispronounce. They pronounce it Dida six.
Deba.
Deba. I didn't want to mispronounce his name. He's been tremendous for them. From that standpoint, I mean, he's a phenomenal finisher, big time athlete, and he can really, really get downhill. I've been really impressed with him. But Davis, Hensley, himself, and they've had some really good wins. They beat. Um, I believe they won at UIC. They beat Northern Iowa at home handedly. So they've done a great job of, persevering through a tough non-conference schedule, a tough early stretch in conference. And, we were fortunate to get one over there. Now we got to be ready to go and hopefully get a sweep. But it's going to take a tremendous defensive effort and tremendous toughness, on our end.
AJ had a season high 22 against them last time, obviously motivated to be playing in the gym where he had played before. Um, and I think he had 8 boards as well. I mean, he was terrific. Do you expect that same performance on Wednesday night?
Well, I hope so. I hope so. We were joking with him the other day, man. We were like, you only rebound against the Illinois teams. He had 12 against UIC. He had obviously the great game at Southern Illinois. AJ Ferguson is a phenomenal. He's a phenomenal competitor. If he was playing football, baseball, soccer, basketball, he's just a competitor, and he's a guy that you can really, really go to battle with and compete with. And there's no secret about it. He's going to guard the other team's best player. If it's Kennard Davis, it's Deba on the perimeter. One of those two guys. From that standpoint, if it's Titan Anderson, if it's with Duke Dean, he's going to be on the opponent's best player. If it's Sturts, he just does so much for our team defensively. And if you really research our team, we went through our little bit of losing streak, and now we've, won a couple in a row. But um, when he got in foul trouble, that really, really affects our team. And so I expect him to play really well.
When I watch your team, Steve, when Ellington is good, you guys are really good. And that's a
Yeah.
difficult thing because he's kind of the post player you have. And so how do you help
Yeah.
get him going early? Do you guys try to feature him early just to get him going?
Yeah, it's funny that the games we had the big win at Drake and Nick, you're exactly right because I tell my staff, I tell the media around here, Nick is our ceiling. When he's playing well, that shows you how good we can be, and we need him to play well. But at Drake, he can play well in different ways. I know you talked about featuring him. And we didn't play at Drake for a long time now, but I think he was 1 for 7 or 2 for 7 from the field. But because of the way Drake plays with so much, pick and roll, trying to get their bigs behind you, starts and pocket passes, you can't let those bigs get behind you, but you got to have a rim protector. And I thought he really protected the rim. He blocked shots. He was on the glass. And so he can do things on both ends to really be a game changer for us. And Nick has had, he's battled through some injuries. Our first game against Pittsburgh, he got hurt. It really hurt had not having him full strength in that at Evansville, at Missouri State swing. Because Lindsey plays the post, but he kind of likes to be, a little bit more face up, a little finesse the way he likes to play, in the front court. Ellington is our one true back to the basket guy.
Mhm.
Uh, but when he plays well, we have a chance to be, and I'm not one of the top teams in this league. And right now we're in that battle to where, can you stay at 5? Can you get to 4? Can you put ourselves in a position to where that last game at Belmont is meaningful for a lot of reasons, but it's one game at a time. I understand that. But Ellington is a major key. And he shot free throws well of late. He had one game, I think he made 5 and over 5. I think maybe it was at Valpo. I think he made 5 and was 5 for 5. And so we got to feature him. But he also got to go clean some up when we don't, on the offensive glass. But even if he's not scoring, he still can be so productive for us because really understands how we want to guard pick and roll, and he's a guy that can protect the rim. And like I said again, he's the ceiling. And I've challenged him. I challenged him at Southern Illinois. I challenged him at Drake. He's responded in those games where I said, "Hey, we can't be who we need to be without you." And it's just hard to win. You want to have great guard play, but you want to have somebody up front that you can count on. And whether that's on both ends or just one single end, I think that's huge. And I think Nick's hopefully coming into his own. If you look at his stats the last several games, his shooting percentage is a lot better than it was. He was in the 40s for a while. For a post guy, that's not where that you wanted him to be. And I think the last 5, 6 games, it's moved into 60s and 70s.
Yeah, he's definitely on the upward swing. Harkham has been in a little bit of a slump, but it seems like he's starting to come out of that as well. When he's
A little
hit,
bit, a
yeah.
little bit, or a lot of it.
Well, I'm just saying he's moving the right direction, and
Yeah.
and so when he's on as well, you guys are a different team.
Yeah, those are the two. He's the wild card guy, and I asked Dustin Kearns at App State. He's like, man, phenomenal worker, unbelievable kid. He's going to be one of the favorite kids you've been around, just from his character and who he's about, and he's been all that. If you really watch some of the big wins we've had, uh, Middle Tennessee State on the road makes big threes late. Loyola Chicago makes a big three late. Drake, we go to him late, makes 2 big threes.
Hmm.
And then he did. He's gone through a stretch here to where, man, if we could just make a couple shots, and that little stretch where we struggled, that was a big part of it. And I thought the other day, when Jacoby was out, um, and I'm fine with the point guard. We've had a lot of good point. I'm fine with that point guard spot, shooting a lot of shots. He shot a lot, and his percentages weren't great, but he made the big ones late. He made 2 big mid-range pull-ups, and I know, everybody's not the mid-range. Everybody hates the mid-range, but if that's the shot, that's the shot sometimes. And he made 2 big ones, and we do if we can get Ellington and Harkham playing to their highest level, we're a very different team because that gives us a little bit more inside outside threat. The percentages don't show it, but Harcum he's our go-to threat. I mean, people know watching us from three.
Before I let you go, this is not going to be a game for the faint of heart. These are two teams that like to drive the basketball, and so I'm really looking
Yeah.
forward to this challenge. Like, who can stop the physicalness, the physical
Yeah.
nature of the other team?
Yeah, and I think each game is a game in its own, right? To where you got to get a feel how they going to let you play that night, right? This
Mm.
is a physical league, and when they let you play physical, I think we're one of the top defensive teams in this league, because the way we want to jam screens and switch and different things like that. And so, and we've done a good job of guarding without fouling, of keeping people out of the bonus. Valpo's a big driving team, and we played them last time. I think they didn't get into the bonus till late, or didn't even get into the bonus in halves. And so that's a big key, keeping them off the free throw line. But yeah, we like to get paint touches. They like to get paint touches. We want to get to the free throw line. We got to do a great job defending them without fouling. And then, it's always the toughest team, the most physical team at the end of the day in this league, I think, is going to win. And I mean, you can kind of see that through the standings. Obviously, 3-point shooting is a big piece because that spreads people out more. But yeah, it's a great game. We've played Southern Illinois here for a long time. Now we just play them twice a year, and our fans, they love playing them. And I thought the atmosphere over there, the last 3 years we've been over there has been really, really good. And hopefully we got a great atmosphere in here for what's a big conference game as we go into the last 2 weeks.
Appreciate your time today on a really hectic time for you guys in Murray, Kentucky. Appreciate your time. Best of luck this week.
Yep, for sure. Thanks, Harry.